According to the commission of God given to me, like a skilled master builder, I laid a foundation, and another man is building upon it. For each man take care how he builds upon it. For no other foundation can anyone lay than that which is laid, which is Jesus Christ. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pruning to Prosper. I'm your host, Gina Morton, and this is the podcast where we prune away all the things standing between you and the woman that God has called you to be. So, that Bible passage that I just read, you will hear in this Sunday's upcoming reading. Today is November 5th. 2025. So it doesn't matter when you watch this video or listen to this podcast, but it's just in line with the masses for this year. Okay, so today the reason I chose that Bible passage is one, I like you guys to hear the reading that you're going to hear on Sunday because it kind of gives you a little chance to think about it. So the theme for this weekend is kind of like foundation in Christ, okay? But I'm going to change that slightly and talk about the foundation of your home, which is your basement. So today I've got 6 easy steps for you to organize an unfinished basement. So when I say unfinished basement, I mean it's pretty much like concrete floors and walls, and you probably don't have any walls dividing the space or anything like that. Remember, if you finish your basement, you're losing a lot of storage area when you do that. I think a lot of people think, oh, we need to finish the basement so it's nicer. But remember, caution, you're going to lose a lot of area just for storage. Now, here's the thing I want you to remember as you listen to this episode. You, at this stage, are not buying anything, okay? You are not beginning with the final step. Do not go out and buy shelves, bins, baskets, label maker, nothing. Okay. You are not at that step yet. Okay. So I know we all like to start with the fun things. And if you say, oh, we're going to do a weekend of organizing the basement, we need to go buy bins and baskets and shelves. No, you don't. You're not there yet. Okay. That's your reward for doing the first 5 steps. Okay. Okay. So what I want you to remember is that your basement is just like any other room in the house, okay? This is like massive, valuable square footage, probably. So we want your basement to be an active, usable space in your home. When I say active, usable space, that means stuff is coming up into your main house, it's being used, it's being enjoyed, and it's going back down. Maybe there's a workout area and you're down there and you're working out. Maybe there's a playroom for the kids down there, an area for that. So the basement is really a part of your home, okay, that you're using. If your basement is where you just shove stuff that you don't know what to do with, you don't have an active, usable basement, you have a storage unit. And you can look at Zillow and see how much you're paying per square foot for that storage unit. Okay? Tough love, Gina, coming at you. Okay, so let's begin. First step to organizing your unfinished basement. I do have notes, you guys, because this is kind of, I want to make sure I do it in the proper order that I wrote out for it. Okay, the first step is that there are items in your basement that you have to have. We all have them. So you're to mark those spots off. I suggest getting a little piece of paper and drawing a very quick sketch of your basement, okay? Now, you have to have things like your furnace, your water heater, your water pump, your soft water heater, your electrical panel, those things. And all of those things need access. So step number 1 to organizing your unfinished basement is making sure that there are clear and wide paths to access all of those things. If you have an egress window, it must be clear in front of it. Okay, this is like a fire hazard. If you can't get to an egress window, there is no point of having one, right? So make sure these paths are nice and wide and clear so that if anyone needed to come into your home and work on these things, that they have a clear path to get to them. Okay, you might be thinking, oh my gosh, Gina, my basement is so cluttered, I can't even do that. Well, this step might be very messy for you. You literally are just shoving, piling higher, just to clear the spaces. All right. But make paths to those things. That's your very first step. Now, step number two, if you've made a little sketch, okay, now you're going to sketch in those paths. The spots that are not the paths, that's your workable, usable areas that you have to use whatever you want it for in your basement, okay? So if you really want to be an A+ student, you'll take some painter's tape and just mark off the paths, and that'll kind of create little rooms within your basement, if you will, or areas that you're going to start using. Okay, so step number two. So first step, clear the paths, mark the paths. Okay, step number two, we are going to begin this project like we begin any other declutter project in our lives. We are going to start with the positive, which is, what do you want? What do you want this space to be used for? What do you want to keep? What absolutely needs to stay, or you want it to stay in the basement? You can now take that same sheet of paper, flip it over, and make a list. This is very broad categories, okay? These first steps are quick, 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 okay? We're not getting in the weeds. So very broad categories. We need a fridge and freezer because it's our overflow food. And maybe we also like to shop at big box stores like Costco or Sam's Club, and we like to have areas for that. Okay, that's an area. We're going to call that kitchen overflow, okay? Boom, there's an area. Maybe you have an area where you want to work out. You have a treadmill, so the treadmill stays, maybe some weights stay. Boom, mark it off in your little map. That's that area. Maybe you want to have an area for holiday storage. Boom, holiday storage, okay? We're not getting in the weeds of, I want to keep that one thing that my kids made for me. No, you're too much in the weeds. Boom, boom, boom. Quick, 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 okay? Do you need a play area for your kids? Do you need an office area? Do you want a workshop area with a table saw or anything like that? Okay, very quick, big, broad categories. Put them on your little map of your basement because those are going to become kind of like your rooms within the basement. Okay, boom, step two, you're done. Number three, assign the areas. Okay, so it's I kind of already said this, but so you're going to say, all right, the outlet for the deep freezer and the fridge are over here. So that kind of becomes the obvious overflow kitchen area. The other outlet that we need for the treadmill is over here. So that's going to kind of become the workout area. All right. And you're just going to go kind of wherever you want. It's totally your house. So you can decide where you want things to go, what makes sense to you. Okay. Put it on your little map. That's it. Right now, you haven't touched anything really, other than shoving things aside to make a path. You have your little map. You've assigned your areas now. Number four, you are going to very quickly start going through the piles of stuff and putting whatever you find in the designated areas. So let's say you open a box and it has obvious trash and you're like, why did I keep this? Boom, it's trash, it's gone. Or there's something that you're like, I don't want this at all. And it's very obvious. Boom, it goes in donate or it goes in trash. Okay, so you're very, very quick. Okay, we're still working really, really quickly here. There's not a lot of decisions to be made. If you have in that box, you find trash, it's gone. If you find Christmas stockings, where are they going to go? They're going to go in the holiday area. Are you going to go over to the holiday area and start saying like, oh gosh, now I need to find shelves and I just need the perfect bin for these stockings because they were handmade by grandma and I want to make sure they're preserved. No, you're putting them in the area and you're getting out. If you find a coffee pot in there, you decide, I want to keep this coffee pot. You're running it over to the overflow kitchen area and you're coming back. That's it, okay? This is a really good step to ask other people for help because people aren't making decisions really about what you're keeping and what you're not. So it's a really good area for bringing in free labor, okay? This is where, when I work with clients, I keep them on track because they'll start telling me stories and I'm like, okay, just come on. Christmas stockings go on holiday. Say you come across something that you know belongs upstairs in the main house. That is always my job. I quickly run it up to whatever room it belongs to and I just put it in that room and I run back to wherever the homeowner is in the basement. This is how quickly you're doing this step, okay? If you come across something that you don't know what area it belongs to or it's bringing up too much emotion, skip it, okay? Again, quick decisions at this stage, okay? Things are just kind of going to the rough area that you've assigned for them. That's it, okay? Okay, number 5. Now let's pretend or assume that you've got all of your stuff kind of in piles or rough areas of where things belong. This is where you might need to bring in either a really good friend or somebody like me that can kind of walk you through, because now you're going to just choose any area that you want. Okay. Let's say it's going to be the overflow kitchen area. Okay. I'm just going to choose an area of the basement. So now you're going to go to that area and you're going to really get in the weeds. Okay. This is where you're really going to go through each item and you're going to really think about it and say, do I really need this? Do I own something else that can work double duty for this? You know, this is a lot of times, it might be camping gear that you've kind of shoved into kitchen. When was the last time you guys went camping? When was the last time you used an ice cream maker? When was the last time you used a popcorn maker? Okay, this is when you need to be very realistic about what is actively being used in your house. All right. So I have a rule in the kitchen that things need to be really used in your kitchen because that's such valuable real estate in your house, right? But I'm a little more lenient about what's in the basement. So maybe stuff in the basement is only getting used once a year, and that's okay. It's still at some point seeing the light of day. So that's kind of like your key question is this item going to see the light of day in the next year? All right. And that's how you're going to go through this. This step does take time. So give yourself some grace and go through each item and really narrow down what you're absolutely in love with, that you're going to use within the next year, and you're going to keep it. Now, step 6. So you're going to repeat that process in every area of the basement, okay? Step 6 is the fun part that everybody loves. This is where you're going to decide how are you going to store this stuff, okay? Maybe you want closed cabinets so you don't have to see it. Maybe you want open shelving. It's totally up to you how you want this stuff. Maybe you have like random furniture that you're going to start using. That's totally fine. It doesn't have to look like it's from Pinterest. You can use stuff that you already own. But whatever space you assign something is your limit. Okay. So again, let's go back to this overflow kitchen area. Let's say that you buy some shelves from Home Depot and they're open shelves and you have all of these little kitchen appliances that you don't use all the time, but you still want them. Maybe it's your bigger serving platters or the stuff that you only use for company or parties or things like that. That's great. You can keep all that stuff, but it must fit in whatever area you have assigned it. So if you said, we have this one shelving unit that has to keep all of our stuff, then that's your limit. The minute you bring something more into that basement that needs to fit on that shelf, you need to make a decision about what's going to come or what's going to go, because now you're kind of crossing into it's becoming a storage unit. All right. We don't want that. We want active, usable space in our basement. So that's it. And you're just going to repeat that organizing process throughout the rest of your basement. And eventually, everything will have a home in your basement. It will be very clear and obvious where everything lives and belongs. And it should be very easy to tidy up as you go. Okay. So I know sometimes for Christmas, things get really disorganized and you're bringing up bins and you're doing other things. And maybe you kind of are tired and you don't put the bins back right away. And come January, February, you're like, oh, the basement's a mess. But it should still be a very quick tidy up because everything is being used and loved. And maybe at Christmas, you say, we didn't really use this thing. I thought we were going to use it and we really don't use it. Use that as a chance to declutter more. Okay. So good luck. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm always available for coaching via Zoom. This is a great place for me to come virtually into your home and help you. We can kind of talk through these things and I can give you ideas and things like that. So never be afraid to reach out, and good luck with your 6 easy steps to organizing your unfinished basement. Have a great day.